5 seconds. Start. Article 83(2) provides that the House of the People, unless sooner dissolved, shall continue for 5 years from the date appointed for its first meeting and no longer, and the expiration of the said period of 5 years shall operate as a dissolution of the House except during a proclamation of emergency. The period of 5 years may be extended for a period not extending 1 year at a time and not extending in any case beyond 6 months after such proclamation cease to operate. Under Article 85(1), the President has to summon each House of the Legislature at such time and place as he thinks fit so that 6 months do not intervene between its last sitting in one session and its first sitting in the next. The scheme of the Constitution, as is evident from the series of articles referred to herein above, reveals that Union Parliament consists of the President and the Council of States and the House of the People. Unless dissolved earlier, the House of the People continues for 5 years from the date of its first meeting, and the expiration of 5 years operates as a dissolution of the House, except that during proclamation of emergency the period of 5 years may be extended at a time not exceeding 1 year and not extending in any case beyond 6 months after such proclamation has ceased to operate. The President is under constitutional mandate to summon each House of the Parliament from time to time, meet at such time and place as he thinks fit. The President alone is vested with the power of summon the House from time to time and prorogue the House or either House and to dissolve the House of the People. The President has a right to address either House or both the Houses together and for that purpose require the attendance of members. He may send messages to higher house of Parliament whether with respect to a bill then pending in Parliament and otherwise, and the house to which message is sent is required to take the same into consideration. A plain reading of Article 87 clearly suggests that the President shall address at the commencement of the first session after each general election to the House of the People and be at the commencement of the first session of each year. The question is whether in this case was there any failure in complying with the requirement as provided for under Article 87(1) of the Constitution. In the present case, the winter session of the House of the People commenced on 2nd December 2003 and was adjourned sine die on 23rd December 2003. The resumption of its sittings on 29th January 2004 by no stretch of imagination could be characterized as commencement of a new session. The House merely resumed its sittings and continued the session which actually commenced on 2nd December 2003. As it is evident from the record, the House was adjourned sine die on 23rd December 2003. The resumption of its sittings is nothing but reconvening of the same session after its adjournment sine die. It is the second part of the same session. The words first session of the year employed in Article 87(1) has no reference to resumption of the adjourned session. The session commences with the President's summoning the House to meet. It is Article 85 which deals with the summoning of sessions of Parliament, prorogation and dissolution of the House of People. The constitutional provision does not require summoning of every session of Parliament which was adjourned for its own reasons after commencement of its session pursuant to the summons of the President. It is only when a House is prorogued and a new session thereafter summoned under Article 85(2) of the Constitution, the special address by the President as provided for under Article 87(1) is required with reference to the new session so as to inform the Parliament of the cause of its summons. No such special address is needed if a session is adjourned sine die in the previous year and the sittings of the same session is resumed in the next year. Article 85 and 87 were amended so as to do away with the summoning of Parliament twice a year and the constitutional requirement of the President's special address at the commencement of each session. The present constitutional position is that not more than 6 months are to elapse between the last session and the first day of the following session. The House is now prorogued only once a year and the President addresses both Houses of Parliament only at the commencement of the first session of each year. Article 87 as it originally stood provided for the President's address in every session of the year. The First Amendment substituted the words every session by first session of each year.